Welcome, everybody. How's everybody doing? Welcome, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Good. For everybody that is here, we just want to give you a very warm welcome. Thank you for being here, for being a part of this. This is a big deal. I've been hearing about this potential book for the last 5 years, and it's finally here. So I'm excited, and I hope you are too. So, everybody who's here in person, we're very grateful for that. And then, everybody who's joining us on Facebook and YouTube Live, welcome as well. I cannot begin to put a value on getting to know her and how it helped me. And even before I had ever joined the journey of foster care, hearing her expressions and her honest thoughts, then when I was in it and having those same things, okay, this is normal. I'm going to be okay. She made it through it. I'm going to be all right. I also had the privilege of partnering with her husband, Lynn, and we opened the Canyon Lakes Family Counseling Center 6 years ago. And one of our focuses is working with children who have been through trauma and really working deep in their minds in the developmental stages that the trauma happened. And so Lynn focuses on the children, I focus on the adults and families. And it's just been a really amazing part of my journey to have met them through a really interesting circumstance, and then to be able to build a business over the last 6 years to serve an underserved need in our community. So now I just want to introduce the lady herself, Jennie Owens. Here she is. Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Um, this, by the way, this is all because of Sarah Nelson. She said, I have to do this. And I was telling people, it felt a little bit like planning your own birthday party. Like, hey, everybody. I'm getting myself balloons and all that stuff. I just want to thank you guys for being here and thank you for your support in this book. It has been a crazy journey, even, back from like parenting the kids, and we're obviously still parenting them, but it's a little different with them being adults. But parenting the kids and then this process of writing this book and editing the book, which brings me to there are three people in this right here that without them, this book would not be at all. Well, actually, it would be, but it would be this thick. And it would have a lot of grammatical errors and typos and my ramblings. So and it wouldn't look very pretty. So Sarah Nelson and Kevin Cole, I want you guys to stand up. Actually, come up here because you guys. And Sheila Gibbons, come here. So basically, I mean, like I said, the book was like this thick, and we'd already paid for editors, two editors, and I even had like a consult with both of them, and they were like, "Oh, the book is good," and I'm like, "It's 450 pages. People aren't going to read a 450-page book." So I was just at this point of like, I don't know what to do. Like, we don't have the money to do more. I don't know, and Sarah had designed the cover, and it's amazing. How many of you guys love the cover? I just love, oh my gosh. And so I had gone into their office and was just, like, hey, I'm going to pay you for the back cover just, in a little bit. And we started talking, and I just shared we started talking about forever homes and what we're doing. And they wrote off the back cover. She designed the inside of the cover just like, and then, the book was like, and even though he had health problems, had open heart surgery in the middle of this whole process, he took a 450-page book and made it where I was like, yes, this is a book. Like, this is actually a book. This is good. He, switched things around and made it flow. And I am eternally grateful to you guys. And I just thank you so much for what you did. You guys are amazing. And Sarah's my like style of person because I'm not like those of you who know me. I'm like, no, I don't know. Like, what do I do? What do I make this look like? And then Sheila took the developmental edit and I mean, just went through and just made it sound good, made it grammatically correct, made it, I mean, just typos, all that kind of stuff that you inevitably miss with a big edit like that. She took and it was amazing because there are times where I'm like, I would read through it and try to find edits, and she's like, oh, hey, I found this thing. And I was like, where, how did I miss that? So I just want to thank you guys. Seriously, this would not have happened without you guys. So thank you. Give a round of applause. Um, and then also, I want to thank, how many of you guys were on, if you're on the launch team, if you want to come up, don't be shy. So, do we have everybody? Yeah, okay. So these are the guys that I like, and that was another thing that, I mean, if you guys know me, like the people who know me, you know that I'm not like, hey, woohoo, look at me. Like, I don't like that. And so I don't know, it felt weird to do a launch team, like, but a friend of mine from college was like, no, you need to do the launch thing. And I was like, well, is it bad that I launched it like 2 years ago? And I still, because we were like, hey, it's done. And then, nope, it's not done. Hey, my husband actually like finally was like, I will believe it when I see it, because there were so many times I'm like, I'm done. No, I'm not. There's another edit. So these were the guys that basically took, they were, their job was to read the book ahead of time so they knew what was in it and then promote it. And it was an amazing process because through that, there were a lot of things like the back of the book cover changed because of them. Because I was thinking, okay, this is just for foster and adoptive families or, people parenting children who've been through trauma. And, then, I'm getting feedback from them going, no, teachers need to read this, and counselors and CASA workers and all these other people. So we changed, the back of the cover. We, sending that stuff to Sarah, who's, making the changes. So, and actually it was funny because even down to the wire, I was like, Lynn, I need to change this one word. And he's like, no, just leave it. I'm like, I know, but it says challenging children, and I don't want people to get the wrong idea about about the kids. I'm trying to word it really carefully. So I just want to thank you guys for helping to get the word out. And, my hope is that more people find out about the book just because I feel like they can benefit from it. I don't know if you guys noticed, like on Amazon, there were some really crazy reviews, and we think that there's a group that's very anti-adoption, and they kind of troll books like that. So like it was kind of crazy where you're like, oh, I got a review. Oh, I got a review. Oh, that wasn't very fun. But yeah, I don't even know where I was going with that. But it's my goal is that more people. But it's funny. Oh, we'd get that, and then the day after I would get a message from a friend from high school I hadn't seen in a really long time, who was like, oh my gosh, my sister read your book, and she said she felt completely alone before she read this. So it's been really encouraging, and then the encouragement that these guys gave me was just amazing. So thank you guys for all your hard work and getting the word out. So thank you. Again, I just want to thank you guys for your support, and I hope that you'll continue trying to help people find the book who need it. And we have a couple of people coming up.
So, yeah, I think the one thing that really resonates with me in my journey, that I love, that what Jenny just said, is after reading the book, I didn't feel alone. And that's what I hope people will get. That's one of the things I hope people get from it. I know I had the privilege of walking with Jenny and Lynn through their journey, and so I got that in real life. And so I'm very grateful that now that story is in a book and that people can read it. At this time, you know who you are. The people are going to come up and share some of their stories. Please make your way up, and I'll be handing over the mic.
Hi, I'm Jennie. Let's see. I first heard about Lynn and Jenny through Lynn's stepsister, Sherry, and we adopted through foster care. I don't even remember how many years ago, a long time ago. And we had a really rough road. And I was talking to Sherry, and she goes, "You need to meet my brother, Lynn." And I said, "Okay, why?" She said, "They have walked the same road you've walked." And I said, "There's no way anyone else has walked the same road we've walked. It's been rough." She said, "No, really. And his wife is writing a book, and you need to meet them. And she has an adoptive mom support group, and you need to go." And I said, "No. There's no one else who knows exactly what we've been through." And what do you know? One day I decided to go to this support group. And what do you know? They knew exactly what we've been through. Sorry. It gets a little bit emotional, and some days I'm really great. That group is the reason I'm still standing here. And reading Dancing with Porcupines was like reading my own story. I didn't have to write the book because Jenny already did. Thanks, Jenny. Not only did it help me as a parent, it's helped me as someone who works with kids, because whether or not they're adopted, everybody comes with their own story. And I know that I need to treat everybody as if they have been or have come from a story like ours, and everybody deserves compassion. And I guess that's what Jenny's book taught me, is that I don't know everybody's backstory and they don't know mine, but I can love them regardless. And so I am so grateful that I've had the opportunity to read Jenny's book and to be her friend. And whoever's next can come take it now.
I actually, this is the first time I met Jenny. I'm going to be honest, in person. And so I actually went to high school with Lynn, and we lived in Florida for quite a few years. And one of the reasons we moved down there is because my husband has a daughter that was adopted at birth. And so we actually got to be a part of her life for 10 years. But while we were in Florida, we fostered for 6 years. And when you're doing that and in that community, one of the things, there are just things we don't say. We don't talk about, we don't discuss them, because they're the deepest, darkest thoughts that you could have. And we're kind of ashamed of those things that we would think towards, you know, someone that has been through a lot of pain, whether it be bio parents or whether it be the child itself that's just acting in a way that you've never seen before. And one of the things that I loved, wished I had Jenny's book way back when, was just that vulnerability, something this day and age that we don't see very often, and things that spoken really can resonate with other people and make them feel like they're not alone. Our journey in foster care only lasted 6 years, and when we were done fostering, I would always go over to my friend's house that had adopted some kids from really hard places, and we would just cry together. You know, we'd pray together, we'd cry together, and she'd share some of the things that Jenny shared, and you know, here's me as like, we don't really talk about these things, but I'm glad we can talk about them. And so what I love about the fact that Jenny has written this book is that we can be giving it to people that we don't get to sit down and have coffee with. We don't get to love on them. We don't get to hug them. We don't get to dry their tears as they're walking this road, but we do get to say, hey, you know what, you're not alone. And so that's what was really valuable to me, even though we are done fostering, is that, you know, somebody that's 100 miles away or 3,500 in my case that I'm still in contact with in Florida, I can give them this book and they can feel like they're not walking this road alone. So that's the impact that the book had on me.
My name. That was too close. My name's Lisa. I'm a teacher. I met Jennie when they first moved to the Tri-Cities. I worked in the building that her kids came to. Jennie and I quickly became good friends, and I got to hear a lot of the stories in her book firsthand as they were happening. And so reading the book was really amazing to me. The background that I do not have is being a foster parent. I don't know what that's like. But in my years of teaching general education and special education, I've had a lot of foster families and foster children. I feel that the book teachers, anybody who works with foster families, I feel the book is just very beneficial for people to read. As a teacher, I want to be compassionate and have an understanding for what people go through. And that book, hopefully, will help me see things, children's behaviors and parents' struggles differently. As a matter of fact, yesterday I met with a foster mom. We had a long meeting. She had to tell me some things that were really, really difficult for her to say and for me to hear. And I just had a whole different softening of the heart for her and what her journey has probably been like. So my mission is to get a lot of different people from different professions to read the book. And last week I presented it to our staff, and we're going to do a book club with it and hope to have some great conversations about it and just a better understanding for what foster families are going through. And after I read the book, this is my husband, I said, you need to read this book. And he's also been an educator. I'll let him talk about himself. He likes that. I kind of had to make him read the book until he got through about the first chapter. And then he was in hook, line, and sinker. And when I would get home from work at night and we were cooking dinner, we had so many great conversations about the book through our profession, kids that we have known in the past, and again, just the walk that foster families are going through.
Actually, the way she got me to read the book was she said, you know somebody on page 138. My name's Gordon Johnson. I was a teacher for 15 years and then a guidance counselor at Cascade Elementary School for the next 25 years. I recently retired. And now I'm a volunteer for the Guardian Ad Litem program through the Benton County Juvenile Justice Court. So that's fun. I've had a lot of experiences with foster kids and foster parents. I know, and I don't want to take anything away from our first responders, but they are our heroes, right? Well, my heroes are the foster parents. It's a thankless job. It's a tiring job. There's no reward. Well, there's whatever reward there is at the end. It doesn't match the energy that foster parents put into it. So now I get the opportunity to work with foster parents and foster kids from the other side. And I want to thank Jennie for writing the book. It really is important. I've worked with young teachers with foster kids in their classrooms, and they don't get it. They don't understand what foster parents are going through. They don't understand the dynamics that are going on there. So I think it's a very important book for all educators to read, for sure. And I really appreciate writing it, Jennie. Thank you. I think it speaks volumes for a lot of foster kids and foster parents out there. And the compassion thing is very important. Thank you.
Thank you. I think they were the last ones to share their story. Is that correct? Two quick things. As you were coming in, there was some tickets being handed out. If you have not gotten your ticket, please get your ticket and drop it off in the bucket. And if you are here and you are a foster or adoptive family, can you please raise your hand, because we have a gift for you. So please keep your hand raised until you get your gift. And one of those gifts is you get an extra one of those tickets for the drawing. So make sure you keep your hands raised, okay? And thank you everybody so much for being here. I know this is a big deal for Jennie and Lynn and everybody involved, and we're just so grateful for everybody who took part in making this a reality. Thank you so much.